Hey, this is our Money in the Bank recap show. Probably get a couple of extra nibbits of news in there, but pretty much we're going to be talking about the results for Money in the Bank and how much we love it. So stick around. We're going to do our little intro and get things moving.
Getting ready to seize your first opportunity to come into the ring and start grandstanding and hot dogging, yeah!
I can't help it that I look good, smell good, woo, can dance all night long.
When we speak, our voices are heard. We all say, I bring it.
Welcome to MALICE Smack Talk. More reliable than anybody would have picked the Money in the Bank winner to be. I am your host, Masonic Vader. With me tonight is Mindfreak.
Hey everybody, how's it going? Just check.
I am going to give a couple props out here. First, I'm going to give props to MALICE-Corp, MALICE Corp here. Thank you guys so much for allowing us to once again host this show on Thursday night this week. Thanks for tuning in with us and with the little twist and everything. But yeah, definitely check out the main cast. You go to the website, you can check out all the previous casts we have done, plus all the other shows. Friday night, tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time is the main cast that you'll be able to hear all the great nerd news going on. And then, well, Game of Thrones is done now, so I guess we're on hiatus until something else comes around. So, but we do have some other shows out there as well. So definitely check out the website, and you can check out all the old casts. Thank you guys so much. Before we get going, I am telling you, man, this Money in the Bank, dude, has made me upset and has made me thirsty at the same time. And there's no better way to murder your thirst than, yes, liquid death.
Cheers! Liquid death, bro. Yes!
Not a sponsor. But I will tell you at this point, the way it's going, you guys are more than welcome to sponsor us. We love that. You know, awesome. Oh, God. I mean, I'm pitching it out there. The commercials alone are awesome. So, yeah. Let's get into this this thing that's called Money in the Bank.
Would you like to say it? Would you like to say it? The overall tally from the Bigs. Since Bearded Master is joining us in the chat room, even though he's not chatting, I saw that he's viewing. So this one's for you, buddy. You can't defend yourself. Back to back. That's all I'm going to say.
Gonna have some more beverage here. Hold on a second.
More beverage.
I think I might switch to the other stuff. Let's just say this Money in the Bank, man. And I don't even think it's just this Money in the Bank. There has been a lot of frustrating stuff this year, man. The vibe is out there with the community as a whole, and this isn't just us saying it, man. This is the community as a whole. We're just not understanding what's going on. We're told the authority's gone. We're told that the people are running it, and yet we keep getting BS after BS kind of stuff, which we're going to get in here. And it's and Money in the Bank, man. All the great matches, everything's awesome, and then you just get. It was actually one of the better Money in the Banks I've seen. All the matches were good. I was really entertained until like the last 5-10 minutes.
Not even that. You had a fantastic pay-per-view. Everybody was in it. The energy was there. The matches were fantastic until the last 3 minutes. What happened in those last 3 minutes just completely destroyed the event.
Yeah, and we'll get into that. So let's do this. Let's start off. We'll go in order. I know we had two matches. Or we had one match. No, I thought it was two.
One pre-show match.
It was just the tag team then. It was good. I thought I missed the other one. So you had the tag team with Daniel Bryan and Rowan versus the Usos. Now, we were talking about this a couple minutes before we started streaming. There was a championship match, and then it wasn't. Just like that. Someone pulled a David Copperfield on us, man. It was a good match. Did not expect the outcome where the Usos won. In fact, none of us actually went with that. We all thought Yeah, I mean, and now if we were told it was a non-title match beforehand, I guarantee all of us would have picked a new shirt. Usos. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like they had it advertised, and it seemed like it was going to be a championship match, and that's why we all were like unanimous, and they're like, "Oh yeah, it's going to be Rowan and Brian," because why are you going to give the SmackDown Tag Team titles to a team that's on Raw? You know.
Yeah.
But then all of a sudden, match starts and it's not for the belts. I'm like, oh, well, the Usos are going to win this one now. Like, it was just, it was obvious. But nonetheless, though,
Yeah,
like
I think the writers for wrestling lately has been the same writers from Game of Thrones season 8. It has been a mess. Like, I think seriously, someone said, yeah, this is gonna be a title match, and you nail it in the head. Wait a sec, we can't have a title match. These guys are on Raw and the others on Smack. What's going on? Oh, dang, last minute change. And it was still a good match. And but you're right though. If we would have known it was a non-title match, I guarantee we probably all would have went Usos. Wouldn't have changed the outcome of the final results, but at least we would sound like we're more educated.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we were educated in our picks just based on everything that was going. With us under the assumption that it was a title match, we're like we said, why are you going to give it to a tag team that's on a completely different brand?
Yeah. Yeah, so I mean, I'm glad they had him start off though. It's just kind of, I don't like pre-show matches to me should be title, which this one was, but it shouldn't be main eventers. I'm sorry, they should be able to find someone to slide in there. Usos should be on the main card. Daniel Bryan should be on the main card. Should not be pre-showing a match. I hate to say that.
I hate to say it too, but given the caliber of the matches that we got for the Money in the Bank, I can understand why, because, they're two, like you said, they're main event superstars. They're the top superstars in their divisions. So, I mean, but given it, though, even though they're the top superstars, given all the other matches we had on the main show, it made sense that you wanted to put these guys into a match on the pre-show when you don't have anybody else, really,
I mean, and kudos to WWE because of the fact that you did, like, the first match I would probably think they would move down would be the 205 championship match. And fortunately they didn't do that. And that was a really good match. I'm glad they kept that on the main roster.
Oh, absolutely.
So, but yeah, it's an interesting scenario. Like we talked about this a while back. The reason why they put matches like this on the pre-show is to try to get people to watch the pre-show. Not like 3.5 to 4 hours of regular wrestling is not going to do it. We're going to give you 5. So, but we get it, but it just, I would love to see that match later on. So, but when it's all said and done, it was a great match. The Usos end up winning the belt, or not the belt, winning the match, because remember, they stripped that championship thing from us. From there on out, we go into the card itself. I would love to do this in order, but unfortunately, we don't have them in order, and my hands are hurting too much from punching stuff lately. So, I'm going to just go into the matches. Let me pull this up here really quick. I use my little handy-dandy thing called a phone. All right. You got it there, too. So we got the kickoff. And so let's not talk about the Money in the Banks yet. Those are going to be last. Let's jump in.
We kind of have to because of,
All right, but we won't talk about that. We won't start it off. How about we start off with...
Why don't we just go in order? Just go in order.
I got it right here, man. So let's start off with this one. The U.S. Championship, the one that caught everybody off guard.
Yeah.
That no one expected Rey Mysterio to pull off a victory against Samoa Joe. We talked about it. We were now once again, though, if we were thinking of the actual implications that would have came out of this match, we probably would have thought differently. If one of us would have said, well, man, if Rey wins, then that means he's hit every belt. We probably would have thought different. But that's exactly what ended up happening. Rey Mysterio pulled out the win. Controversial because, to be perfectly frank, Samoa Joe's left shoulder was not down for the 3 count. Ref was not an angle. I mean, technically the ref was right there, but whatever. They're calling it what it is. It's a 180-pound man trying to hold down a 290-pound man, and that 290-pound man is Samoa Joe. So
it's a way to continue the story a little bit too.
absolutely, it's gonna get personal again. I think they're gonna start going down the line that they did with Samoa Joe and AJ and whatnot, to where, because you've got this Dominique factor in there. As it's already known, Dominique is training and wrestling. I believe his dad is actually training him, or whatnot, or at least doing a good amount of it. So he is on his way to start his wrestling career, and they're using him a lot in a lot of his recent stuff. So you get this huge win. Kudos to Samoa Joe, by the way, finished that match because he took a senton that broke his nose.
Yes,
Hey, that was reminiscent, no joke, of Deadpool teabagging Cable. That's exactly what it was from the movie. Slow motion, nose broken. That's what it was.
Shout out to Polyfuse for joining us in the chat. Welcome, Polyfuse.
Polly, what's up? It's also always good to see you on there. But it was a great match. I was really entertained. It was a short one. They're doing short matches with these guys. I'm waiting to see Samoa Joe and Rey Mysterio go longer.
Yeah. But, I mean, when you have something like that, between those two, I mean, you necessarily can't have, like, a longer match, just given everything else that was going on the card that night. But I absolutely agree with you. To see them go a little bit longer than they normally do would be interesting. I mean, especially, if Joe would have retained and you would have seen both of those, go for them to go the distance, and you'd probably, Mysterio might have it in the sense of, the endurance being able to go the distance.
Yeah, I think what they're going to probably end up doing is this is going to be a rivalry that's going to go through summer and culminate at SummerSlam. And I think that match is probably going to be the one that goes, because they'll probably end up making it some kind of a no holds barred or a steel cage, because between now and then, Dominique's going to get involved.
Yeah.
So that's going to be the big match right there. But like I said, for the short match that there was some good moves that happened there. That senton, like I said, was crusher. I hate to see it end off where, there's obviously controversy. Samoa Joe is going to just live off that and everything, where his shoulders were not down. But kudos to Rey Mysterio. He is now he's a Grand Slam. He's got them all, correct?
Yep. And it seems like lately, like within the last year, they've been giving like the Grand Slam to like almost like, a lot of people. Rey Mysterio, Jeff Hardy, Randy Orton, Roman Reigns. Like usually, back in the day, like the Attitude Era and stuff like that, being the Grand Slam champion was like a tremendous, I mean, it still is a tremendous milestone, but it was a lot more rare, back like the Attitude Era and, the early Ruthless Aggression era too.
Yeah, it was back then it was the idea that a champ held on to their belt for a while. I mean, the only belt that they didn't get held on to for a while was the Hardcore Championship, when they made it go 24/7. Other than that, though, you had people hold on to belts for 2 years at a time. I mean, Hulk Hogan, enough said, CM Punk. So you have these guys that are, doing their matches and hold on to them. Yeah, and Grand Slams came ashore. I understand why they're doing it. It's safe to say that Rey Mysterio is getting into his later years. You don't want to ever see someone go out, but I think it's getting to a point where you're going to, with him training Dominique, is that he's going to start stepping back and let his son take over. And all the other names you pretty much mentioned are people that have been in for a while. Randy Orton's still got years in him, but he's going on year 15 now or something. He's been wrestling for a while. So see some of these guys starting to get these, it just makes sense. It's the other stuff that we'll be talking about here in a minute that's going to bug the hell out of me the most. Championship runs that last 5 minutes. So kudos to Rey Mysterio, win that championship. What's the over-under on how long he keeps it?
A couple months, probably. Maybe if you continue the storyline that cultivates at SummerSlam, something's going to happen where Joe's either going to win it or Dominic's going to get interjected in the match and his son's going to win it.
So you'll think he'll hold on to it till SummerSlam?
Yeah, which is only like 2 months away.
Yeah,
potentially.
I don't know. I used to be confident in knowing that things were going to go certain ways. You kind of you had a vibe for it. That doesn't happen anymore. It's just there's one wrench after another that gets thrown
With
at us.
certain titles, yes. With other titles, you don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, and you are correct, Paul. Fuse Hogan is a legend. He was the one that they built everything on right now. Absolutely. I know these guys don't like admitting it, but of course they haven't really. I don't think you've even seen a match live of Hogan's. Oh wait,
No.
maybe in the WCW eras.
No, well, I mean, Icon versus Icon with The Rock and Hogan and stuff like that.
Sure,
too, so.
sure, yeah, but not in his glory days, not in his heydays where he had more hair.
A little bit more than he has now.
Oh God, yeah, upset on that. So we got the U.S. Championship going on, and then let's head to
Steel cage match.
another match. Yeah, I was about to say another match that threw everybody off. The steel cage match versus Shane McMahon versus The Miz.
So I'm just going to go out and say it.
You can start on this one. Go for it.
They even said it on commentary. Shane McMahon survived. That's all it was.
Yeah. Do you think
really
was it planned that way to come out of a shirt, or do you think it was something they made up at the end there?
That's a hard one to say.
It is. It's not what I wanted.
It's not what I wanted. I mean, it definitely progresses the storyline, especially now that you have a little faction with Shane McMahon, with Elias and Drew McIntyre, but then you also have the Miz and Roman teaming up a little bit. And stuff like that. So it's interesting to see what's going to continue to happen with this one. But absolutely, upset the fact that the Miz didn't get that one because the Miz needs to win one to kind of keep the story going.
Yeah. So one of the themes that happened through Money in the Bank, and I don't know if this was in there or if this is a possible coffee cup or a plastic water bottle left in the scene. But referees were not on point this night. We just talked about Samoa Joe and Rey Mysterio and the cover. So in this match, you had a lot of great action going on.
You did.
Yeah, Shane McMahon once again putting his body out there for it, which is incredible. He's one of those guys who he owns and he leads at the same time. But there was a part in this match where Shane McMahon, The Miz gave the skull crushing finale on a chair, I believe, went for the pin. Shane gets his foot on the rope and then he stops the break. Now, as everybody knows, in a steel cage match, it's no holds barred. There's no disqualification. There's no way you could break the count. So putting a foot on the rope should not have broken the count, and yet the ref did it. And what was awesome is hearing the fans calling them out on it right off the bat. They weren't effing around there. They called them out and said that's BS. They started chanting that's BS, and yeah, it was crap. I don't. Do you think these referee things are something they're starting to interject because they're starting to do an underlying plot, or was this just a bad night?
I'm going to say a combination of both.
Okay.
Because not necessarily bad calls. I mean, it does happen every once in a while, bad calls, but then you have to remember, they have the earpieces, so they're getting orders and stuff communicated inside, from the back, from the back, from the writers, from Vince, from everybody, on how to direct the show kind of thing. Yeah, the referee's word is final, but if you have a sense it's not necessarily the ref's word, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's why I'm saying it's kind of a little bit of 50-50. They're making it seem like the refs are making bad calls to have stuff happen to either A, progress storylines, or B, just kind of trying to change something up and trying to do something.
Yeah. Now, I've seen it happen in the past. We've all seen ref storylines get involved. I mean, I go all the way back to Dangerous Danny and those times and stuff. But we've seen it. We've seen it with Little Nate. But this was an interesting night if refs are in a story plot because it was different refs each time, different matches. So it kind of makes me think, if they are doing something, it's going to be bigger than we're anticipating it because that doesn't happen. These refs, the one thing about WWE refs that you definitely realize is that they they do their job in a professional manner. I mean, there's a number of reasons why. First of all, it's story content. Another reason it's safety, because that's the other thing is too. They're there to make sure that everybody's safe, that no one's injured, and if they are, that they get immediate attention ASAP. There's a lot of changes that you've seen with the refs and checks and everything that they do with people, especially whenever they take the big bounces. I mean, heck, man, the NXT ref, 2-3 weeks ago, snapped his ankle to the left and still finished the count out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, see, and that's what I'm saying, if it's part of something bigger. Now, granted, if there's only like one ref mess up, either The Miz or Samoa Joe, I can understand, okay, no, bad call, it may have happened. But the fact that you had multiple ones in the same night, yeah, there's something bigger going on. Yeah,
there's definitely something down the pipe that we might start seeing fruition here in the next week or two. Who knows? But yeah, once again, it's one of those things where the match ended, or could have ended, it didn't, and then of course we get the ending sucked to me.
Yeah,
you had a great match like that, and how do you win? Oh, he comes out of his shirt and goes all the way down to the floor.
Yep.
Come on, lazy writing.
Mm-hmm.
Lazy writing.
Yeah, exactly, Pete. The fact that the refs have, the earpiece in there, exactly the point, is there something bigger, being told from the back to make the call or make up the calls or just keep going, come like that. So that is definitely something else that could be a factor into it.
By the way, welcome, Pete, to the chat room, man. What's up, buddy? Yeah, so Shane McMahon, the Miz match, we're going to see more of this going on. As much as I know they're going to try to sit there and say that this is done, I don't think it's going to be done. Obviously, since Daniel Bryan and Rowan won, there's no way the Miz is going to get interjected in that. So Shane Miz for another 2 months. Yay.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we're floating around here pretty good, man. We've got the steel cage match, which is awesome.
Kofi and KO.
Yeah, Kofi and KO was a good one to go with next. So yeah, Kofi and KO. Now my total night got screwed up before everything started because everything was based on one person being in this. Of course, when someone's hung upside down, it kind of throws off your night, I guess, huh? And so yeah, Kofi Kingston versus
Yeah, sure. Being hung outside.
Yeah, dude. Sami Zayn dropped the ball.
Bad at picks. We know.
It dropped the ball, dude. Yeah, this was an incredible match. I enjoy watching Kevin Owens as a heel, but even better yet, he's more. I want to say he's lost 20 pounds. It's nothing huge, but you could definitely see he's a little bit more nimble. Those surgeries on his knees helped out a lot. We're seeing a much better Kevin Owens this time around. Before he was dragging because of those injuries. Dude, great match, man. I enjoyed it a lot. Kofi Kingston, I mean, he's really living up to this right now, which is great, man. A lot of people, when you see somebody as the top champion, and someone like Kofi Kingston, where he's not pushing 200 pounds, you're thinking, how the heck is this guy gonna win against people like, say, Braun Strowman or something like that? But man, he a lot of his talent, a lot of the people he's been going by has been bigger competitors. Kevin Owens being one of them. Very athletic, and man, he is staying solid. What were your thoughts on this match?
Oh, I thoroughly enjoyed this match. I'm gonna put this up there, excluding the Money in the Bank ones, as one of the top matches of the night. It was a fantastic match. It was entertaining, the back and the forth. I'm a fan of Kevin Owens. I always have been. Watching him in the ring, watching what he's able to do, and to agree with the point, he plays the heel very well. Even to the point where sometimes he's like kind of like an anti-hero, where you hate the fact that you love him, kind of thing. That's who Kevin is, and he comes across well, and he fits that role very well, and he does it in a way that makes it very entertaining. But then on the flip side, you have somebody like Kofi, who's been in the business for 11 years, who's known for doing crazy, outrageous stuff at Royal Rumble. The fact that, he has the title, it's amazing. And the fact that he's continuing with this momentum and being able to put up high caliber matches, And the fact that, WWE is, continuing, not necessarily because, it's the cash factor or like the pop factor with New Day, but he's living up to the champion and being able to hold that and get the crowd behind him, and be a very entertaining champion. So, be interesting to see how long his reign lasts just based on everything that's happened. And we'll get into a little bit more of that later on.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. Seeing Kevin Owens doing frog splashes off the ring to the floor with surgical knees. That dude loves his job. That's all I gotta say, man. Yeah. He put in some solid moves. A couple of, man, that pop-up power bomb, man, Kofi hit hard.
He did.
Man, that was about as close as you get to winning a match without, getting, it's like 3 count, man. It was like right there. You can't get any closer than that. And then, of course, at the end, he pulls off the Trouble in Paradise without his shoe.
Yeah, shoes.
Yeah, shoes are taken off. He does the spin. Now, I give him kudos for that because, man, socks on a mat, there's not a lot of friction there. There's not a lot of grip. He pulled it off, man, and he hit him on the side of the jaw, dude. That was a perfectly placed kick.
It was. It really was.
Yeah, man. And of course, Kofi gets the 1, 2, 3. But, man, this match went back and forth, covers. I'm loving the fact there wasn't outside interference, that it was just a straight-up win. No New Day, no Sami Zayn, anything like that, which is great. It's kudos to Kofi Kingston. I love this push they're going to give him. I don't know if it's going to go past SummerSlam, but it's definitely good right now. And it's nice to have the full New Day compliment back, which I'm sure we'll probably mention at the end there.
Yep.
Yeah. So we're cruising through.
Cruiserweights. Let's go.
Yeah. Actually, we'll talk about 3 of them that got destroyed by Lars Sullivan. Lucha House Party comes out. I don't even understand what their point. Did they have a match scheduled?
No.
I don't remember a match. So they're out there.
They're just trying to put up Lars Sullivan as keep decimating anything and anybody. That's all it is.
No, I got you. I didn't want to lose. I didn't want to lose it, but I mean, Lars Sullivan comes out, manhandles Lucha House Party, which is fine with me. I'm getting kind of bored of him. He does give him a vicious headache or headbutt though, and gashes himself. I think that was done on Kalisto, right?
Yeah,
probably one of those little flames or something that got him. But man, he's flowing blood. He don't care, So yeah, Lars Sullivan comes out, does his thing. Tony Nese defending his championship. I think this is his first pay-per-view defense. Is this correct?
Yes, because he won it at WrestleMania.
Yeah, and he's been kind of on the down low for a hot minute. So he has himself a Cruiserweight Championship on the main card against Ario Davari. This was also a very entertaining match. Like, I kid you not, man. All these matches this night, this is one of the few pay-per-views we've had this year where I can't think of one bad match.
Well, yeah, I can, but
we're not of outcomes or anything. We're talking about like total matches.
Overall, this was a solid event for matches. Like, I was thoroughly impressed with all the matches. They were highly entertaining because of the different type of skill and the way that you had the matches set up, and the way the matches flowed through the entire show was fantastic.
I don't get it. Money in the Bank is not one of the top 3. We know that.
It's one of the top 4.
I honestly think the way the pay-per-views have been going the last 3 years, that they should be that this one should be pushed a little bit harder, man, because these guys are killing it on Money in the Bank. Mm-hmm. I think the last 3 Money in the Bank matches are pay-per-views have all been incredible. The outcomes of the results of the matches, some of them we don't care about, but the actual matches themselves have been phenomenal.
Oh yeah,
and this one, no doubt. Like, I don't give anything lower than a B+ or higher, man. If you were putting it on the grade scale, so, and this Tony Nese match was awesome, man.
I mean, given what's left of the cruiserweights, and it's on the network on Tuesdays after SmackDown, but when you watch them on a major pay-per-view, like, it's a lot more entertaining, especially when you had such a good night. 4 matches that night, like watching Tony Nese and Ario Davari go back and forth, and just watching these like tiny guys just do these incredible spots, and they're in big spots too.
Tony Nese has come around really good from heel to face. It's been a great transition. It's also helped because some of the guys have been coming back from injury who have been heels, like Ario Davari, for example. Wonderful match. Kudos to both these guys. There were some really solid hits. Tony Nese again is an incredible athlete, man. The amount of stuff he can do, that cruiser. I mean, he doesn't even look like a cruiserweight, and yet he still pulls off cruiserweight. It's amazing. I am looking forward to seeing a long title run with him and seeing what kind of
You think it's going to be a lengthy title run?
What's that?
You think it's going to be lengthy?
I think so, because right now 205 is in this scenario where they don't have too many people that could really carry the banner right now. There's a couple people, but it's kind of like they have to replenish right now or find something to do with 205. And I think they're not going to do anything with it. I think they just got to replenish. So, Tony Nese, great job, man. I'm becoming a big, more of a bigger fan every week that I see this guy wrestle now. It's just he's getting better and better, and it's awesome. He is carrying 205 right now, and kudos to him, sir.
And that's something that I noticed we've all said, about whoever's holding that title. It's somebody that needs to be able to carry the show. I mean, when you see it going, going back, when they brought Enzo over before he left, he was kind of carrying it. Then when the title transferred over again, and then up to the point when Buddy had it, Buddy Murphy, whoever has that title in the cruiserweights, essentially carrying the show. And the fact that that you give the title to somebody that you can do it says a lot about the title holders in the cruiserweights, because of how bad it's suffering with injuries and all that stuff and rosters, and trying to put on a decent show. It just goes to show they have a lot of faith in the cruiserweight champion.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Kind of like how the Intercontinental Championship belt was back in the day. That was usually the setup for you winning the championship match or getting that heavyweight championship spot at one point. So, yeah, from there, we are going to go to the women's Money in the Bank because it's going to set up the following matches. So the women's Money in the Bank match this year was phenomenal. And I hate to take that from AJ, but it was probably my favorite women's Money in the Bank match so far.
There's only been 3.
I get it. But they've had other matches.
It's getting better. It was good last year, but it was a lot better this year. It's going to continue to keep getting better.
Yeah, the women it was a great mix of athleticism. Just emotion. Ember Moon pulling off a freaking her freaking move off the ladder, man. Who'd she hit that on? Yeah, who'd she hit the eclipse on? Because they took it like a champ, man. Was it Dana Brooke? Oh yeah, it was Dana Brooke. Yeah, she took that like a champ, man. That looked bad too. And Dana Brooke had a really good turning too. Like Dana Brooke's been coming around really well lately. But this match right here, like I mentioned last week, this is usually one of those types of matches that highlight somebody to really kind of get them out there. I think this was a great showing for Dana Brooke. I think she did a phenomenal job. She took some great bumps and she took some and she made some good moves too. She was definitely on point. All the women were on point here. There was not a single person I would have not been upset. Even Carmella, if she would have pulled that down, I would not have been upset with Carmella as much as I was last year. But that was only because there was no chant happening. But it was a great match from beginning to end. What were some of your highlights of that match?
Too many to count. It was
give a couple.
It was phenomenal. But I think for me, like the favorite point was towards the end. It looked like Mandy Rose was going to win it with the help of Sonya Deville being ringside. But then you just have Bayley climbing up the ladder, headbutted both of them off, and then grabs the briefcase. Like I know that was like the final thing in the match, but for me, that was awesome.
Yeah. Now, was it a headbutt or was it more of like a face plant? It
like a faceplant headbutt kind of thing. It
Yeah.
looked like, yeah.
It was an overprotected headbutt, I guess, huh?
Yeah.
But yeah, kudos, man. Sonya Deville, man, putting somebody on her back like that and going up 3/4 of the ladder. And I'm not saying Mandy Rose is in phenomenal shape, but she's not like Casey from NXT where she's like about 105, 110 pounds soaking wet. Sonya put her on her back and lifted her up 3/4 of that ladder. That's impressive. And then you had, of course, like you said, Bayley ran up there and gave the headbutt face palm and pulled that off. Now that puts her into a nice scenario before, as we talk about later events, because she is also now running the gauntlet on victories and stuff. Carmella's won both ladder matches. Or no, Carmella won the ladder match.
She won the first one.
She won 2 of them technically.
No. Well,
she
because they redid it. But they redid it because of that. But it's still technically one.
Yeah.
Because of the outside interference, because of that. Alexa won it last year, and then Bayley this year.
Yeah. So she's in kind of like this nice scenario where she's been running the gauntlet under the radar. She's had the tag team champs. She now has won the Money in the Bank. She's had the
Raw Women's Champion.
Raw Women's Championship. So she's been doing her thing, and I agree with Pete. I think Dana Brooke does need to start getting a push. I think she's earned that ability to at least get a championship match. I'm not saying win it, but definitely get it, because I see her in-ring ability has gotten much better, but she's still not up there where Bayley, Becky Lynch, Charlotte, she's not quite up there, but her in-ring ability has improved a lot.
She needs to be, because I think she's a lot better of a talent than Sasha, but that's just me.
Man, the smack talk is flying more. I love it. And also the Lita comment too. Yeah, the Lita stuff before she messed up her neck, man. I do agree. The Lita stuff at the end was more of a visual happy thing versus in ring, which was unfortunately at that time. So
good old Attitude Era.
Yeah, there you go, Paulie. Checking out some of the old matches on YouTube. You got to do that once in a while too. Trish and Lita had one of the best. Had one of the best rivalries in the WWE, especially during the Attitude Era. And one last comment from Pete, going back to him, man. Dana as a tag team champion, great way to get her a belt. Absolutely. Have someone that has great chemistry with her and let her run for a little bit. Absolutely. I concur. Tell me who you think your tag team partner would be in the chat, though. I would see Nia Jax, unfortunately.
No, she's a Tamina.
Well, I don't know how much longer Tamina is going to be. So you got Bayley winning a phenomenal ladders match. Phenomenal. Those ladies, man, they put themselves through torture during that match, man. It's amazing.
Oh yeah.
So from there, we might as well just jump into the women's championship matches. We're going to start with the first one, the Raw Championship, which was Lacey Evans versus Becky Lynch.
The
man, absolutely. Now, I hope people, now last week when we were talking about this match, there was comments made that, Lacey's not ready yet for it. After watching that match, I think you guys might need to start looking at her a little differently. I think, like I said before, she's ready for it.
It wasn't a matter of me saying she's ready or not. It's just a little too soon for her to have one.
I get that, but in this day and age where there's so much it's hard to explain with the women's division. You had a exodus of stars that are left. Okay. The Bellas are gone, which they carried the division for a while. Sasha Banks is nowhere to be found. You've got people that are injured right now. It makes sense why they're putting her into the mix right off the bat, because of the fact that she can handle it. Her in-ring ability is really good. Her mic skills are getting better. I don't like the Southern Belle thing though. I liked her better as Lacey Evans in NXT because it was more of the. She still had that lady persona, but she mixed in her military, because she's a former MP with the Marines. She mixed that in there and everything, and it was a great combination where she had that class and sophistication, but she threw rights without really talking much. I know how you're about to jump over Sasha and everything. I get that, but you can't discount the fact that Sasha has been able to put herself or give herself a niche into the women's division to a point where she's made a good impact.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
but I don't like her.
So you've got this. It's a great match. Lacey Evans came out and performed the way she needed to. I think this was a coming out party for her as far as showing her skill set. We've seen her for the last 3 months. Now, if you don't watch NXT, you've literally seen her for the last 3 months, interrupting matches, walking the catwalk, and then going back. And I mentioned this when they first started doing it. It's got to be one of the most god-awful ways to introduce a wrestler, is just have them do it that way. To me, I think it undermined her actual in-ring ability. I know it was a way to kind of keep her relevant, if you want to call it that.
Yeah.
But yeah. It was very frustrating to see. And seeing this match, I did not think she was going to win it. None of us did, and she didn't. But you know what? Would you have been upset if she won it? The way she performed, I wouldn't have been. I think she earned it in that match.
It kind of goes back to kind of what I said with this whole situation with everything's going. It's really pretty much what was going to happen was all based on what was going to happen with the actual ladder match. I would have been mad if they would have had her lose both the matches, but with how on fire Becky is, and everything that you're going with the storyline, everything that she has going on, I understand, taking one of them, but not two of them. And, also like to take this opportunity to welcome Jack Malice to the chat. What's going on, Jack? Welcome to Smack Talk.
Yeah, beat me. Yeah, no, I actually thought that if she would have lost one of the matches, it would have been that one. Because that would have been not only a great push for Lacey Evans, but it would not give the outcome that we did not want to see, that we ended up seeing. So you have this great, phenomenal match. Now, what normally happens with Money in the Bank matches is, you have the match, you have the Money in the Bank match, and then, maybe someone turns in their briefcase that night or whatnot, but you give some people some time. And since we had 2 women's championship matches, everyone's expecting a match or two before they actually do the Charlotte match. And no. Go figure, WWE giving exactly what we don't want, and that is an instantaneous match. Good old Flair magic happening right now. Charlotte Flair walks out and does the whole challenge thing, and Becky's not going to be, she's not going to pull the, I'm going to go in the back and rest thing. She did her match, and kudos to Becky Lynch and her stamina, man. She had great back-to-back matches.
Oh, she did.
Yeah, and it went from Lacey Evans to Charlotte Flair, which Charlotte Flair is one of the most dominant women in wrestling as we speak. Unfortunately, though, I think it's getting a little old with the giving it hand me stuff to Charlotte. I don't know what the rush is right now. She's been in the WWE as far as the main roster now for 4 years, and she's now have 9 title runs because
granted, this was the shortest title run she's had.
True, but it's exactly what we didn't want to see. Like, no one wants nothing against Charlotte Flair, but no one wants to see someone win 9 championships in 4 years. That's two a year. That's way too much.
But it's essentially like how I pretty much almost called it to a T. With the women's ladder match being first, Bayley winning it, I knew she was going to walk out the SmackDown champion. Now, granted, I said Becky was going to retain, then lose it to Bayley, but seeing Bayley get that pin, I know I'm jumping just a tad bit ahead, but since we're kind of going into it, but
Yeah.
It validates Bayley a lot more without losing the validity of Becky, because the whole only reason that Charlotte won that match was because Lacey Evans did interfere. It wasn't a clean win. So that's a way to kind of progress the storyline and stuff like that. But at the same time, though, you validate Bayley a lot more because it wasn't against Becky, but it was against Charlotte.
Yeah.
Which says a lot more. The fact, you go back a couple weeks when Bayley came out, you're like, hey, I'm here. You guys forgot about me, but I can take both you guys on, kind of thing.
Now, if you guys aren't joining us right now, if you're going to listen to this later on or see the cast on YouTube or wherever it is, or listen to it on Stitcher or whatnot, you guys are missing. Right now, the chat room is just blowing up right now. Crazy comments, old school stuff, crapping on Becky, people talking crap. Everyone wants to talk crap to apparently me. You guys are missing this. So when you get a chance, you got to come check us out live so you can just join in on this chat on Twitch. And dang, don't even know who Becky is. Damn. There's some fighting words going on in this thing. Yeah, so the Charlotte Becky match was a great match again. Kind of predictable as the match goes on. Charlotte Flair doing her thing. And unfortunately, she wins the belt.
Due to interference.
Yep, through interference, she ends up winning the belt. And then, of course, there's a little bit of more going on afterwards. And Bayley comes out to defend Becky, help her out a little bit. You got Lacey Evans and Charlotte Flair, who could be potentially tag team champs. I think that would be a great tag team championship match to have. It could be like what was Steve Austin's tag team? The Blondes, the Hollywood Blondes. It could be that part too. You know what I'm saying?
No. How dare you compare the great Stone Cold Steve Austin to Charlotte Flair?
Wait. He was not Stone Cold Steve Austin at the time, though.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Stone Cold Austin had no hair and he was a badass. When he was a Hollywood Blonde, he had hair and it was going away.
Tell me what you think.
Tell me what?
It doesn't matter what you think. It's Stone Cold Steve Austin. That's all there is. Becky, how dare you do that? If anything, the closest person to Stone Cold is Becky. Becky is Stone Cold 2.0. How dare you? How dare you? Chat, blow up. Talk smack more on Masonic Vader here.
Thank you. Stunning Steve. Come on. That was not Stone Cold. It was Stunning Steve.
I understand it's Stunning Steve, but it doesn't matter. It's Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Stunning Steve.
Yeah, I understand that.
Stunning Steve is not Stone Cold Steve Austin. Shut your mouth. It's not the same
person. Know your role and shut your mouth.
You weren't even alive when he was Stunning
Steve. I wasn't.
Steve.
So it doesn't matter. He's
shut your mouth.
He's Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Oh my gosh. Anyways, hey, so going back to it, she wins the match. Lacey comes in and they're doing a beat down on Becky. Bayley comes down, gets Charlotte, gets Lacey out of the way, gets Charlotte in the corner, takes about a good minute or so and realizes, holy crap, I got a great scenario. I'm cashing in the money in the bank. And guess what? 1, 2, 3. Bam, just like that. Champion in 25 seconds or less. And Bayley is now your SmackDown Women's Champion, which is awesome. She now has the gauntlet. She has all the titles that you can win right now as a lady in wrestling. She's got in WWE. She's got the tag team. She's got the NXT. She has the Raw and the SmackDown. So she has all the belts you can win right now, and it's awesome to see again because she's been busting her ass trying to get that match, and they've been giving it to Becky, who's been running the show for a while, and giving it to Charlotte, albeit for 30 seconds. And yeah, I think Becky's going to be an awesome champion. She's going to be able to carry that belt through SummerSlam.
Awesome champion. You mean Bayley?
Bayley, excuse me. Bayley's going to be an awesome champion. She's going to run it through SummerSlam. I think that's going to be enough time to where probably Rousey will get involved, and we might be seeing the 4 horsewomen versus the 4 horsewomen sooner rather than later on. It's just a matter of when they decide to really give Baszler up in NXT and move him up.
Yeah. No, yeah. And essentially that's probably what they're setting up because we don't know what's going on with Ronda Rousey. But also at the same time, we don't know what's going on with Sasha, but who cares?
Yeah. Yeah. she needs to understand she can leave right now and go to another wrestling promotion, and she's not going to have it as good as she has it in WWE.
Nope.
I don't know what her problem is, but I hope she realizes that. So Bayley wins the championship, and that right there, that got the biggest pop of the night right there, by far. Her winning
the winning pop, yeah.
Her winning the Money in the Bank at a great pop. Her winning the belt was just, over the top. It was awesome. So we've gotten to the women's Money in the Bank. We're not going to go to the men's because I believe there is still another match we got to mess with.
Do you want to talk about that one, or do you just want to go into the ladder match and then save the other one for last?
Oh man. Well, we got we can't forget Roman Reigns and Elias.
Quick match. We can talk about that one. He gets attacked backstage. Elias does his performance, comes out, match starts, gets speared, match over. Roman wins. Like I said.
Yeah, that was a pretty fast one there, the good old spear. But once again, it wasn't something we expected. Like we were all thinking, regardless of who won it or not. Yeah, whoever won it or not, regardless, we were thinking it's going to be it's going to be a great match. I thought this was going to be a coming out party for Elias as far as showing his in-ring talent on a main match. And no. 1 minute, done. If he was in the adult industry, that would be the worst movie ever. That was that bad. So let's. I want to say the best match for last. So let's go into the Money in the Bank because that was definitely by far.
Thank you.
Yeah. So the men's Money in the Bank match. Now, for the last year that we've been doing this, because we did Money in the Bank last year, I had mentioned that last year's match was good, but it just wasn't Money in the Bank quality caliber. In other words, we expect those ladders to be used. We expect people to go off there. We're not trying to make people get injured, but if you set a bar or if you set a match a certain way, you can't deviate from that. And last year's Money in the Bank, the men's Money in the Bank, did not live up to what that was. It was a good match, but it was more of match itself versus actually what we expect. Well, they apparently watched our podcast and decided they were going to go ahead and change that because holy balls, that was an incredible Money in the Bank match up until the last 3 minutes. Holy crap, the amount of stuff that you saw these guys, like the height, what was that? Finn Balor got down on the power bomb? What?
And then you get Ricochet being thrown from the top, like the top of the ladder, all the way down the other one and breaking it in half.
No, he was or wasn't he? Well, backflipped over, I think.
No, was he backflip? No, it was McIntyre. When McIntyre threw him, remember?
Yeah, he threw him over. Yeah. He didn't do it from a ladder. He just threw him over.
Oh yeah, that's right. I'm thinking of the other spot. Yeah. I'm thinking of the other spot.
Yeah, and snapped that ladder in half. Man, Ricochet took about 2 or 3 good pops on the ladders, man.
Randy Orton doing Randy Orton things. Thunderous RKOs.
Oh, that RKO, man. He grabbed him right at the last second. I thought he broke someone's neck with that, man.
Oh, man.
Yeah, someone's going to have whiplash for a couple weeks, I think, man. There were so many, we
called it. There were so many amazing spots because you had a great mixture of different type of styles. You had Finn and Ricochet with the aerials. You had the power with McIntyre, Randy Orton just doing Randy Orton things, which it's to be expected. It's always entertaining to watch Randy Orton.
Baron Corbin came into this match and actually did really well.
He actually did. Not that right there. That's what I think surprised me the most, because we talk crap about Baron, but also at the same time, it's part of his story and what they do with him. But when you just let him get in there and do something in a match, he actually does have a really good in-ring talent. But it's just, I think the problem with Corbin is they're not utilizing him correctly like they should be.
Yeah, I mentioned this before. Like Baron Corbin, and I hate reaching back to NXT, but Baron Corbin NXT, awesome. Because he went in there and devastated people. And then the matches that he did have that went for a long time, he also did really well in the matches. His new persona, this whole wear a vest out to his ring, and thank God he gave up on the hair, though. That was,
So I mean, granted, the writing that they've kind of done for him lately has just been like, whatever. But I do like the new look, though. With the vest, that kind of like, not necessarily like gentleman, but more of that like, sophisticated kind of tough guy. Almost like a bouncer.
Yeah, and I agree. I agree with Pete. He's underrated. He is a great heel. I mean, that's the one thing that's really keeping him solid on the main card right now, is that he's such a great heel. Like, no one wants to root for this guy. They come out, they just get on him right off the bat. That's what makes some wrestlers stay for however long they can, is because they're able, like Baron Corbin's mic skills, they're not 100%, but they're exactly what he needs to stay in that heel spot. And the way they wrote him in as the acting general manager and all this other crap was perfect for a heel, the Constable. But at the same time, though, go back to his NXT matches, and they're missing that big part there. Yeah. And this match was awesome for him. This match, I think, highlighted what he can do in the ring. It's not like he hasn't done it before, but I hope they start getting him to a point where they can start doing more in-ring action versus Constable or acting or exactly. I want him just whooping someone. He's a Golden Glove winner. He's a legit fighter. So give him the opportunity to get in there. Randy Orton doing Randy Orton things, just like as always. I think there was like 4 ladders that broke in this one. I don't know. Yeah. But that Finn Balor, man, Andrade gave him a power bomb from the top onto a ladder. And not only did he hit it like hardcore, like first of all, you got to be impressed by Andrade. He was able to do a power bomb and winding up enough to where the chair didn't mess him up internally, or for Charlotte's favorite parts, I guess. But then Finn Balor hits that freaking ladder and then gains another like 4 feet after he hits it. He gets launched up and hits it again. I mean, back to back. Ali was awesome.
Ali was fantastic. I was just about to bring him up too.
Yeah, I mean,
overall, other than the outcome, which I will get to here in a moment, overall, this was a fantastic ladder match.
And I hate to say I told you so, but I did say that the mix-up of the talent they had for this one would be probably one of the best ones we've seen in a long time, because they had the combination right. Last year had the potential, but there was too much size. Braun Strowman being in there was just like a demolishing factor. And I think for people, it's not that they don't want to see people going through ladders, because obviously we're watching the Money in Bank match because we're going to see people go through ladders. But we want to see what we just saw. We want to see this crazy, like, holy crap, he just did a sunset power bomb off the top of a ladder onto another ladder and gained 4 to 5 feet in height going back down. People getting thrown over the top rope and getting just going through ladders. Like they had size, but the size, like in Drew McIntyre and Baron Corbin, these guys are not your typical heavyweights. They can hang out with the lighter guys and do those types of
same thing with Randy too.
Yeah, absolutely. Randy's that in-between guy. Randy's strong. He's just that if he was on your team, he could play any position.
He really can.
Yeah, Drew McIntyre is that guy where he could, but you're mainly going to keep him on spots where you need to move people around. Like if you're playing football, you're going to keep him somewhere where he's going to be killing people on defense and then crushing people and catching the ball occasionally, like a tight end on offense. Like they had the perfect chemistry with all these guys. and it's kudos to everyone who was in that match because, like I said, it was the most entertaining one I've seen in a little bit now until you get to the effing ending. So let's rewind for a second. The one name we have not mentioned this entire time is Sami Zayn. Now, if you haven't seen this, you guys are screwed. Sami Zayn gets knocked out pre-show. Braun Strowman gets
upside down.
Yeah. Tied up. Braun Strowman gets blamed for it and gets exited out of the stadium. And so now there's only 7 guys in the match. And these 7 guys carried this match. Like,
they did.
It was phenomenal. And then
then it looks like that you're going to have the upset and have Ali win. Then you have the last person's music hit that you ever want to hear again.
Yes. So it's kind of
like Lesnar.
It's like
I said to myself just now.
Yeah. It's the equivalent of saying it's that meme. Oh, you want me? This was good. Oh, hold my beer. That's exactly what he just made.
Do not disgrace the hold my beer meme by putting
That's exactly what it was, though. Hey, how do we want to mess up WWE? We're notorious for messing up some matches. You can't mess this match up, Hold my beer, because that's exactly what they did. Brock Lesnar comes out.
Move over, Game of Thrones. Hold my beer. That's how you use that meme. We had the worst series finale, WWE. Hold my beer.
I think they were equal. But yeah, so Brock Lesnar comes out. Brock Lesnar comes out. And Ali, now technically, I mean, this is where you mess up on timing. Ali could have had that thing 20 minutes ago. And regardless if you heard the music, all he had to do was lift up. He was right there. Music comes out. Brock comes out. Now, granted, I ain't gonna lie, Brock Lesnar's in really good shape. Apparently, for the last 3 months that he's been gone, dude's been actually working out.
Well, he thought he had a UFC fight, but now he doesn't.
Yeah, so now so dude's in shape. Comes down, climbs up the ladder, pushes the ladder over. Ollie gets out of there. Everyone's all stoked that Ollie's going to win this thing because he's underdog. He's got the ability to do it. It's pushed off the ladder. And then one rung by the other. And then, did you see how uncomfortable that guy was on that ladder? Like, he couldn't figure it out. He got 3/4 of the way up, just over half up first. He tried to reach it. He's like, I can't reach it. I got to go higher. No shit. And he goes higher. He grabs it. And Brock Lesnar is your Money in the Bank, or excuse me, your Beast in the Bank winner. All right.
And Pete brings up a good point in the chat. He's like, well, Brock was the swerve this pay-per-view you needed. You just pushed back 7 people who worked their asses off. Absolutely agree with that statement.
Yeah. I don't, to be perfectly frank, though, I don't think it was the swerve we needed. I think we got the swerve with the freaking Charlotte match and Bailey and whatnot.
The minute that his music hit and it came out, I saw this before I went back and finished watching it because of Game of Thrones. But the first thing that came to mind was, you already know what's going to happen. You already know why he won this. Mm-hmm. And it's for this. I mean, I understand the reason, but at the same time, it's just we don't want this. We don't want this. The whole reason, and I'm going to break it down to you, and Bearded Master probably 100% agree with me on this one. Brock wins the Money in the Bank. He's not going to cash it in on Seth. He's going to cash it in on Kofi because SmackDown's moving to Fox. And what's a great way to boost your Fox ratings? Have Brock and Lesnar there. That's all. That's the whole reason why.
Yeah, no, I concur. And Mess throws a comment in there. The reason why I don't like Brock Lesnar winning this thing is just for the simple fact that now I think he spent more time in that ring than he spent just that one night that he spent in the WWE ring in the last 6 months. I mean, the guy doesn't show up. He's getting paid. Everyone knows he's getting paid an obscene amount of money. He's not showing up. It's not like he's the only guy that gets paid an obscene amount of money. But at least those guys who get paid an obscene amount of money show up from time the time. Now, there are a couple guys, like there's a pay-per-view that's coming up in a couple weeks, which I'm not going to watch because I didn't watch it last year and I really don't want to watch it again this year.
I'm going to watch it only because of one match. And I'll probably just tune in for.
If you say Taker and freaking Goldberg,
no.
I'm going to throw something at you.
No, Orton versus Triple H.
I don't know. I that's a whole different thing. We'll talk about next week or something.
That's next week.
Yeah, but Brock Lesnar is just, and I see some of the comments in there with Paul, in respect to Paulie and stuff. I don't know if he necessarily brings the fans to WWE. He probably brings fans to UFC all day long because ultimately I love watching that guy. I've seen some of his matches. I've gone back and watched him on YouTube. I like watching him in UFC because that is a big ass dude that moves around like a 240 pound or 220 pound guy, but can lift 400 pound guys up with no question. I mean, when it's real combat, I'm down watching UFC. WWE is a different thing. It's a different beast. I think it's more catered toward fans.
Pete in the chat, the 24/7 title has been defended more times in one night than Brock defended the title in 2019.
Yes, which we'll talk about here in a second. But yeah, he doesn't bring fans. No one's paying to see Brock Lesnar. Like you can even tell that the Brock, when he came out to that music, when he first came back to WWE and they did the whole like he's going to your town and they have the shirts. When he first came out, hell yeah. I was excited to see Brock Lesnar back. The problem with Brock Lesnar is they've given him this fat contract where he's allowed to show up once a quarter, I guess. I don't know. He held on to the belt for freaking, how long was it? Over a year? I don't even know how long it was. All I know is it wasn't showing up on Raw. 2 years almost, okay? And it wasn't showing up on Raw. And that's what WWE fans want. They want to see their champions wrestle. They want to see people showing up. Everyone knows he's a heel. Everyone knows this and that, but no one really cared. When he was gone, people were more happy. And when he came out this time, holy crap, there was not any type of buzz. It was more of like, are you effing kidding me, buzz? Like, this is bullshit. I want my money back. That's literally kind of the pop I think he got.
Yep. So let's go from this low, depressing point to the match of the night.
Quick. Paulie, they do show up. I get you. They show up, but they're not showing up for him. And they don't even care if he wins or loses or anything. They just don't want to see this guy. He was great back in the day. He's just not having it now. Brock is just done.
He's just holding the titles hostage.
Yeah. Yeah. So we got the match of the night happening now. Seth Rollins versus AJ Styles.
For the first time in WWE.
I think the first time ever.
No, they fought in the independent.
They did so? Okay.
That's why they're like, it's the first time in WWE.
Okay, so
they fought before.
They had their first match in WWE, and by far, these have been the two guys that have carried both shows for the last 2 years. Seth Rollins carrying Raw without a championship. Main championship. He carried it with the IC. And then AJ Styles carried SmackDown for over a year with the main title. And one of the few positive things that came out of the Superstar shakeup was having Seth Rollins and AJ Styles now on the main show on Raw, because now you get to see this match. And it's not going to be the last time you see this match, because it's safe to say these guys are going to have something that's going to be going for a long time. And it's amazing. The chemistry they had in that ring.
Watching them counter each other's finishing moves over and over again.
Yeah, it goes to show the professionalism of both of them, because first of all, both these guys were carrying, like we just said, they are main star talent, and they are playing each other like it's amazing. And no one's trying to get the glory out of this match kind of thing. Like, who cared who won at this point? I don't care if AJ would have won or if Seth would have won. It was a phenomenal match all the way through.
Oh, it absolutely was. From start to finish.
Yeah, it was the best that WWE has right now, and I'll tell you right now, I will put that match up to anything that any other show will put right now. That was a great match.
I'll even put that out for match of the year.
I could, and we're not just talking. To me, match of the year, it's just not WWE. Like, I really do think that was probably one of the best matches that we've seen in quite a long time. I know it's something people say, unfortunately, all the time. Oh, that's been the best match. But really, if you've seen that match and seen the caliber of what it was, all the way to the very end with the freaking stomp, it was a great match. I'm gonna quit using phenomenal because AJ is phenomenal. But it was great. It was awesome. I've watched it twice now since 2 more times since. And I can't get enough of it. It's a great match. I've seen that in the Money in the Bank match, up until the end. What were the highlights you felt of this match, man? I mean, and I know you're going to say multiple because there are multiples, but was there one specific point that you thought in the match that was like, holy crap?
The entire match, but like I even brought it up, the end there, that reverse suplex to the reverse Falcon Arrow that he did on AJ. The fact that, because normally when you see Seth do that spot, it's a normal superplex to the Falcon Arrow. But the fact that, that they have so much chemistry and so much trust in each other, the fact that, Seth did it reverse, but then going into like the countering, them knowing each other's moveset with how similar their movesets are, just the back and forth, AJ, hitting the phenomenal blitz in the corner, but then Seth just to roll out of it to hit him with, and then the back-to-back step up insecurities the Pele's, the Pele and the insecurity kicks. But to even the point where he going for the stomp, reversing into the Styles Clash, kicking out of that, then reversing the stomp, and knee and buckle bomb and all that stuff. Just the move sets that these guys have. And literally watching these two performers, with how many high caliber matches Seth Rollins had in the last year, he's had some great matches. But when you put him in the ring, not saying that the other guys aren't as talented, but when you put in somebody there that is a veteran of the business and doing it for as long as they both have, I will go out and say that this is one of Seth Rollins and AJ Styles' best match.
Absolutely. My high point to the match was where Seth was going to pull off that Hurricanrana, and all of a sudden, oh no, you're going into a style clash. And wow, man, that took some skill right there.
Yeah.
Skill, strength, timing. And yes, Bearded Master is pulling Brock Lesnar right now, Pete. Thank you very much for that comment. That match just had counter after counter. These are two guys that are students of the game that I know that whenever they get to the point where they decide to retire, it would be a blessing to see them hanging out in NXT or whatever, trying to train the next generation, because that's the type of wrestling that we've gone to. Those matches are what people want to see. They don't want to see the old Hulk Hogan, freaking get all upset, 3 punches, kick, a leg drop, and call it a day. They want to see high quality counters. They want to see high quality finishers. They want to see almost threes 20 times, and it's believable every single time. That's what are you laughing about? What's going on here?
Talking that Bearded Master isn't here, and then Master Producer being like he's in his best Mindfreak impression, going on a consistent assignment with Coach.
Oh, damn, that is true, man. You have been the consistent this year. That is right, yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's going to be consistent next week, but I'll get into that later.
So God, man, match of the year possibility, absolutely. I think it will be mentioned for the Slammies or whatever, whatnot. Mm-hmm. I think Pro Wrestling is going to give it its kudos too. Like I said, man, whatever pay-per-views are going to be out there in the next couple of weeks or so. Yeah. Good luck on trying to fill those shoes, man. I don't care who you have going on for them. So, and of course, and that's how it ends, guys. That was, like I said, but by far one of the best Money in the Bank matches, pay-per-views I've seen, at least in the last 3 or 4 years. From start to finish, every match was awesome.
Absolutely.
Thank thank you guys in the chat room, by the way. It's hard when we got 2 people running the show because I can't give enough look at on the show here. But man, if you guys aren't joining us live, you're missing one hell of a chat, especially tonight. This has been a great one. We appreciate you guys keeping it going there. Thank you to MALICE-Corp, Malice Corp, for allowing us to do the show tonight. We've gone over a little bit tonight, so thanks for hanging out with us. You can follow a Bearded Master when he's not here, which is tonight, at a Bearded Master on Twitter and Instagram. Yeah, and of course, he also does another cast. It's called Boot to the Face. It's a boot, the number 2 and face. So definitely check him out there. Mindfreak, where can we follow you, sir?
Other than over my shoulder, at my Twitter at MindfreakMLG, talking all things nerd, games, wrestling, pop culture, all that kind of stuff. You guys can follow me right here on Twitch at twitch.tv/BTBMindfreak. Been kind of going in, editing some stuff there. Have a lot of my old gaming clips and past gaming casts on there. The parts have been ordered. They're kind of back ordered a little bit, so streaming's going to be coming back up here soon. And as I mentioned a couple moments ago, I will not be here next week because I will be on a plane going to Texas. So I will miss you guys next week, but I will be back 2 weeks later. So
sorry you're going to Texas. Go say hi to Raider out there.
Yeah, I will.
Hey, thanks Jack Malice, thanks Mess, thanks Polyfuse, thank you Pete. Guys, thanks for coming into the chat and making it fun tonight. Thank you guys so much for joining in. You can follow me at Masonic Vader, Masonic Vader 71 on PlayStation Network. But of course, like I always mention, Dan, please follow this show, like us, subscribe to us, tell us what we're doing right, wrong. Tell us what you thought your thoughts were on the Money in the Bank. But thank you guys so much for joining us. Well, hey, apparently you can go say hi to Paulie when you're out there next week too. He's in Texas as well. So, but as we always like to finish our cast, we always finish off with the 1, 2, 3. Yes. Someone's not asleep. That's a solid ring. Have a good night, guys. Thank you so much.